Alrighty. Hey everybody, I'm coming to you live from my backyard, and I'm here to show you how to use AI in your daily work and how I use AI in my daily work to be a better leader for my team. To be honest, actually, before I dive into a little bit of a demo, I wanted to share some thoughts I had with you. I actually don't believe AI is going to be replacing leaders anytime soon. However, it's my strong belief that the job of a leader is going to be rapidly evolving, and I do think AI will likely impact the roles of leaders who don't adopt this technology as a core part of their tech stack and workflow. For the most effective leaders, leveraging GPT technology should actually come quite naturally to you. Just like delegating work to a teammate, you'll work together with your GPT tools to become more data-driven, to automate your tasks, as well as systematize your processes. And the more you experiment, the more you're actually going to get the hang of it, and it's actually not as tricky as you might think. But I figured, what better way for me to share some ideas with you than to share a real-life example of how I'm using my AI to make my data work for me. So, let me grab my screen really quickly. Forgive the wind chimes. Okay. So here on my screen, you're going to see a real transcript from my team's weekly meeting. And before this workflow existed, all of my transcripts would just either wither away in a folder because I'm a little bit of a digital data hoarder, waiting, hoping for somebody to make, use of them. But if I'm being honest with myself, I rarely if ever did. And so this process here that we've built at ThoughtfulGPT is designed to make this data more useful. So all you have to do is first, highlight the transcript, and then we're going to go grab my transcript macro here on the side widget and click process. It's as simple as that. If you need any help or tips in setting up your own macros, I'll link some trainings in the video below. But as you can see, it's as simple as highlighting all that transcript data again, finding your macro in the widget, and clicking the macro button to process. So, now that we have the results, some of you may know this, others may not, and if you're watching this from the future, this all might be a little out of date. But we've actually just started building the ThoughtfulGPT product. So in my recent team meeting, we all shared our thoughts about what we wished AI could do to help us in our jobs for a little bit of inspiration. And you can see this wish list is actually a gold mine for us to use in our product road mapping sessions. But before I hand these wishes off to engineering, I want to actually turn them into a more comprehensive user story that fleshes out some of the details about the functionality so the team isn't starting from scratch or making guesses. Which, as a side note, everyone who downloads the tool will get access to that macro in their toolkit. If you try our product, please do. I don't actually have to micromanage this task in the same way that these other chatbots work. Again, if you're thinking about this as an extension of you and your teammate, you don't want to sit there and be, chatting step by step, each step over and over as you're doing tasks at volume. You want to delegate this work to your AI and trust that it would, kind of get the idea from what you've taught it so far. And as you can see from this process on the screen, it's as simple as highlighting the wish and turning it into a user story with a button. But this kind of acts as, again, you're delegating work and systematizing your processes to AI. Now that I've actually transformed each of my team members' feature requests into a user story, I'm going to move on to the next part of my transcript summary that's actually grabbed all of the action items we need to take for our sprint. Okay, so I have a confession to make. I can be a bit lazy, maybe really lazy, when it comes to admin work and project documentation, so selfishly, this might be one of my favorite macros of all time. And in just one click, you can see all of my action items that we discussed in the meeting have been fully scoped out into more detail with budget estimations, timelines, risks to consider, advice for a communication plan. And finally, to make the recap notes more useful to me, I'm going to go ask the AI for some feedback on the meeting. And because I'm ravenous for feedback and I constantly ask my team for it, sometimes it's helpful for me to get insights on feedback from a different perspective, even though it's generated by AI. And as I'm glancing through this feedback, it all seems really reasonable, super valid. So as a last step, I'm going to go ahead and then share this document with one of my teammates and kind of do a little bit of bragging about what was once a haphazard glump of transcript data that would have gone probably to, die in a folder somewhere. It's now been transformed into a really useful set of product insights and ideas, a full-on project plan that, we had that we'll build for our sprint, and some great leadership feedback for me to work on with my team. So hopefully this has given you some inspiration for how you might be able to leverage AI in your workflow. If you'd like any help, training, or support in your AI exploration journey, myself and my team would be thrilled to help you. Feel free to shoot us an email at support@thoughtfulgpt.com. You can grab me and my co-founder at founders@thoughtfulgpt.com. And check out our YouTube channel as well as our product guide for more tips and inspiration. With that, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have an awesome rest of your week, and I will catch y'all later. Bye.